everyone. It's Friday, which means it's time to deploy. Yes, I am somewhere else. I am not at home. I'm actually at the Octopus Deploy headquarters here in lovely Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. And we are in the midst of filming a bunch of commercials that hopefully you will see in the coming weeks, months, years maybe, I don't know. But we're producing some fun commercials to talk about the story of what Octopus is and how it works. Anyways, that's why I'm here. So, everyone else seems to be at home. So how was everyone's week? Jim, let's start with you. How was your week?
Good week, but more of a manager week than an engineer week for me this week. We're heading up to Brisbane ourselves next week, so been busily planning that.
Is that for the team?
Yeah, for the team and meeting up with a couple of other teams that we're going to be doing some exciting stuff with next year. The uh,
The
the
world
the
domination
ongoing
plans?
That's right. The ongoing quest to scale Octopus larger and larger requires more teams. So yeah.
Fantastic. And Charlotte, how was your week?
Yeah, it's been pretty good. Just had a few really good meetings this week, so I feel like I've made a bit of progress on sort of what's to come and planning sort of research. So, um, yeah, as everyone knows, I've got a survey ready, but yeah, just getting ready for the next thing, which is really exciting. It's nice to start like a new project. It's really good.
Awesome. Anything you can share?
Well, we're going to go, the current survey's on the future of platform engineering, and then we're going to do a little AI report based on hopefully respondents and data that we collect from that survey as well, kind of all connected there. And then, yeah, I think the plan is to do, to start off next year with a bit of a bang and I guess just dive straight into a lot of research and smash out a lot of surveys and collect a lot of data. So, yeah,
There's a reason why we hired Charlotte. She's got a PhD, right? So we need the smart, big brains working on the data. So there you go. I can't wait to see what's going to be happening there. So that's awesome. And Matt, what have you been up to? How was your week?
Yeah, short week for me. Only 3 days at work this week. Got a public holiday and a day off down here. So yeah, it feels even busier than normal. But yeah, there's lots of content coming out at the moment. We're doing some Q4 planning. I was looking at everything that we're trying to achieve in Q4, which is in the middle of conference season as well. And it's like,
Yeah.
holy moly,
Yes.
But we'll get there. We'll work through it.
Yeah, this is definitely that crazy time of year that I think a lot of people don't enjoy. So it's one of those things where I think just surviving is going to be the key mantra there. So hopefully,
That's it.
yeah, hopefully we'll all find ourselves in the same boat going forward. Anyways, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the latest news. So for those who don't know, this is our roadmap, our What's New page. Excuse me, I was going to come to the roadmap, but our What's New page, which is also something you should bookmark or make your homepage. This actually has gotten a few updates. So there's a few updates that have been posted recently. So we're seeing those coming to fruition. We've mentioned a few of these in the past, but on the Octopus Cloud front, you can see that we've now added Argo CD. And so Argo CD support is now supported within Octopus Cloud. And so if you're running Octopus Cloud, we started shipping this out to customers. This happened earlier today, which is awesome, which is why it's listed on the What's New page, which is fantastic. We also, of course, have our MCP server, extra protection with IP address allow lists for Octopus Cloud, and then of course greater security with Azure Private Link for Octopus Cloud as well. So these and other things have been added to the What's New page, and you'll also find a lot of that stuff under our roadmap, which is at roadmap.octopus.com. Make it a bookmark, if not your homepage. This is the news page that we've published recently around the new MCP server. So we have a news section. For those who don't know, it's at /news, and you'll find a bunch of resources there. So this is the press release that went out earlier today and talks about our MCP server, which you can find at this URL here. This is Bestie's blog that he wrote about this. But this complements, obviously, our AI assistant, which we've also talked about on this show. And so if you want to read more about that, you can find it up on our news section, which is here. And then, of course, there's our roadmap, which I also mentioned earlier. This is definitely one of my favorite pages we have under the Octopus domain. Lots of stuff being added here. Jim, I know the stuff you're working on is being added here. But yeah, lots of stuff to consider. So guys, I mean, like it's pretty exciting stuff. We've got now Argo CD support within Octopus now available for cloud customers. So pretty awesome stuff.
Absolutely huge, I reckon. Getting that real Argo workflow into the Octopus world is
Yeah, fantastic. And Matt, we've got a new video from you as well. This one's on workers. It's aptly named, just workers. And you and I were having a good laugh about this, about how simple the title was. But tell us a little bit about this video.
Yeah, I was kind of sitting there, like I said to you, I needed to do the thumbnail for it, and I wrote the word workers, and I'm like, is that actually it? Like, and I'm just like, oh, it'll do. I'll ship it.
Yeah.
I'll send it. So,
Yep.
As most people will know, when doing builds, releases, all that sort of stuff in CI/CD, you need somewhere to run the tasks that you're trying to achieve. And in Octopus Deploy, we run those on workers. So we have our steps and our processes for deployments and for runbooks as well. And those get executed on a worker. So I just wanted to talk through the different types of workers that we have, because we do have a built-in one in Octopus Server. If you're running that sort of on premises, that is the default. And we've in our cloud, Octopus Cloud offering, we've got dynamic workers where we provide the workers to you if you want to use those. And there is also a third type, which is external workers. And so that's where you build your workers and then you sort of bring them into the product. And the one thing in here that I actually love, just real quick, is the ability that we've got to execute them within a container. So you can keep your own workers really thin without needing to install software on it. And then you can, in Octopus Deploy, you can tell it, hey, for these steps, go and run it inside of a container on that worker. So each step that it runs, it will execute inside of a container. And the container is where you can have all of your tools, your command line interfaces, your Terraform, your Azure CLI, all of those dependencies that you need to run the things. And you just pull that down ad hoc as you need it on a worker. And then the worker remains pretty thin, and therefore means that it doesn't need a lot of management and overhead to maintain those workers. So
and the nice thing that complements this is, of course, the fact that you get all those containers from a resource like, say, Docker Hub. And to add to this, we are now a verified publisher up on Docker Hub. So ta-da, nice segue there, Matt. Thank you very much. So we now have the check mark, which indicates that these are from a verified publisher, which is us. And these are some of the containers and images that Matt was referring to. So these are often things like the tool sets that you need to complement your installations for workers, etc. If you're wanting to do an installation of a worker and you want to utilize some of these via containers, you can do that. This is available up on Docker Hub. And so now this is the checkmark complete for Octopus Deploy, which is another new thing that shipped this morning, I believe. So that's great stuff to see there. Awesome stuff. So other news worth covering. We've got, obviously, our upcoming webinars. We've got Steve and Rob from Google, who are going to be doing a session on the DORA 2025 report. Charlotte, I know you're keen on this. And, I kind of think, like, wow, if we'd gotten Charlotte onto the charts and graphs, maybe it would look real awesome, that sort of thing. So, but this is an upcoming webinar I'm sure you'll be watching.
Yeah, I'll be watching it. It's actually, I'm lucky that daylight saving has changed, so it's now at 6 a.m. Rather than 5, so it's not too bad.
There you go.
I'm pretty keen for that one. It'll be good.
Awesome. That's awesome. And other kinds of webinars we have. Oh, I'm having trouble with my monitor here. Sorry, one sec. This is the joys of not having your own environment here. It seems like it's just kicking out. So there you go. Let's try.
Put him in the wild and throwing him off a little bit. So,
I know. I don't we have a really good setup here. My monitor doesn't seem to appreciate it. So there you go. So we've got this DORA report webinar coming. We've also got the Introducing Argo CD in Octopus webinar coming up on October 23rd. This is with Kit, Trent, and JT, and they're going to be showing off what this looks like. Of course, we shipped this earlier inside of Octopus Cloud, so that's definitely worth checking out. The things that we haven't published here, we'll be talking about very shortly, are also the Octopus 101 that will come at the end of the month. That's going to be a Halloween edition. I'm going to dress up for that. I purposely delayed that so I can host it for Halloween, and I'll get dressed up in a costume for that one, so that'll be fun. And then we've got another one that's going to be featuring ephemeral environments, which will be posted shortly. So these and other webinars you'll find up on our webinars page at /webinars. And in addition to that, we've also got some interesting things that we've been doing on the corporate side. We've never talked about this, but we do actually have a corporate sponsorship with a local provider called Ocean Crusaders here. And what they do is they actually go around, they end up cleaning up the environment. So as folks may know, from time to time, unfortunately, trash finds our way into seaways and waterways, etc. And so this is a OceanCrusaders.org is one of the things that we sponsor, and this is a passion, I think, of Paul's and a few of us at Octopus Deploy. And so we've been actually been helping them out, and we've been trying to keep a lot of landfill and waste out of our waterways. And so these guys do all the heavy lifting, of course. They take up all the trash, but we've been there to basically provide some of the funding to help do it. And of course, being the fact that it is Octopus Deploy, we care about our aquatic brethren and brothers and sisters, comrades, and so we got to make sure we take care of them. And so this is a good little initiative. You want to help out, you can certainly do so by visiting oceancrusaders.org. Send them a donation. They do a lot of great work keeping trash out of our waterways, which is fantastic. Awesome stuff. And to wrap things up, I just want to mention that we'll be updating the shipped page soon. We've been talking about the fact that Ship 25 is coming. This is actually going to be occurring in December. We're going to be updating this page with a countdown timer very shortly. But what is not old or needs to be updated is our call for speakers. So if you go to Sessionize and check out our call for speakers, you can submit a session for Ship 25 and let us know what you'd like to talk about. We've got a whole range of great sessions that people have already suggested. We've got a number of sessions that have been proposed. You can go ahead and submit your sessions today. They're still being accepted until the end of the month. And we'd love to hear from you. If you've got a topic you would like to cover on platform engineering, DevX, Kubernetes, continuous deployment, anything with Octopus, etc. If you've got some experience with GitOps, or you want to talk a little bit about what you do with Octopus, we would love to hear from you, to hear about your story and share it with our larger audience. This is going to be a 2-day live stream, which will be hosted on December 9th and 10th. And again, we'll be updating the Shift website very shortly. You'll be able to register. We're going to have prizes. We're going to have giveaways. We have lots of great speakers. It's going to be a lot of fun. So stay tuned for that. And now it is time for everyone's favorite segment, which is Support on Friday. In this week's edition of Support on Friday, we have the following question, which was posted to the advice channel saying, "Hello, Octonauts. I'm trying to import OD, or Octopus Deploy, project variables using Terraform, and I'm having trouble locating the variable ID for existing project variables." This is often a sense of a contention within the Terraform provider itself. I know this personally because I worked on it for a long time. Project variables and tenant variables are two different things, and we had to separate the two concepts within the Terraform provider. You can take a look at this if you visit our Terraform provider documentation, which is up on the registry. So if you take a look at the documentation, this is the documentation for tenant project variables. There's also documentation for tenant variables themselves. The one that tends to hang people up is this one here, which is the actual generic variable description. This has been deprecated. This is the old definition for a variable itself. And the reason why we had to disambiguate the two was because there are differences semantically between a tenant variable and a project variable. And so we had to separate those definitions. You will find these up on our documentation, which are available here. And the reason why that's relevant is because the variable ID could either map, in those cases, either to a tenant or to a project. So we disambiguated those and made them separate and distinct. So now what you have is you have tenant variables that point to a tenant and a project. That's for a tenant project variable here. Excuse me, I was pointing the wrong one. And then the other one is, of course, the common variables for tenants themselves, which only point to a tenant, and there's no project associated with that. All of them can infer a space ID, but again, that's optional. But that is something that you can check out as well if you're so inclined. And so that is a little interesting sort of question that comes up from time to time around the Terraform provider, but there you go. Anyways, that wraps it up for today's episode of Deploy on Friday. A little bit early today, but that's okay. Any other news items that anyone wants to mention before we wrap things up for this week's episode?
We're good. We're good.
Just as long as they don't snap you up, any of those talent agencies up there with when they see you acting, as long as you're here to see us through, certainly through conference season and many more years at Octopus, I don't want them going, oh, well, I'm going to take him for
yeah, if I see you guys out in public, I will deny knowing you all because of my acting career would have skyrocketed from there. I'm like, oh, you guys are... Yeah, I don't know these people anymore. No, I'm kidding. There's no chance of that, believe me. My acting skills are terrible. I hope at most you guys get a good chuckle or laugh out of the commercials we're shooting. But when they do air, we will make sure to mention them here, and we'll even play them back for the upcoming episodes that we have on Deploy on Friday. Until next time, on behalf of myself and all of us here at Octopus Deploy, happy deployments, everyone. We'll see you next week. Take care.